apparently there's historical account of a man that was trying to sell off tomatoes and everything within the lower working class, and given that that was his main crop and nobody wanted to eat them now because people thought that they were toxic, uh apparently he has been recorded as um he like took tomatoes and started eating them, and then someone was like, don't do that, those are toxic, and his response to them has been written down as being, I would rather die poor with a full stomach than rich and hungry. And then he didn't die, and people went, holy shit, how didn't you die?
Are you streaming yet? Like,
Yep, I'm live.
alright, let me get you pulled up. Oh, this music like got guns pretty good.
Yeah, I just pulled it off YouTube.
Oh, we're waiting on this video.
Y'all can go ahead. What y'all want to do.
All I have left to do is that dinner meeting, and then I have to go off with Silas and hopefully survive my training, my anime style training.
No, if it was doing that daily stuff.
I want to go to. I guess I'll go to the magic school. And while I'm killing time, I just want to go to the library and study some books there.
Okay.
While I wait. Question: does this school allow smoking indoors?
Only place it's not allowed is the library.
Can books be taken outside from the library?
That's only reserved for staff and students. So no. Unless you're enrolled there or teaching.
Yeah, I'll just go up and read then for a bit. I want to read about I want to try and read about the weave and understand it more, and more about the deities and what part they play in the weave.
Okay, make me investigation.
18. I was so close to being in that 20.
Kind of reading about the general weave. Keep seeing mentions of it keeps mentioning a deity. Keeps mentioning a deity called Illyrion, and how she is kind of the one responsible for maintaining the weave, just the flow of magic. She was told that she was the one who kind of gifted magic to mortals. And it keeps mentioning this tome. The more you look at the description, like it matches spellbook.
Can I try and find some more books related to Illyrion? Let's see if this library has any more.
One thing I'd say you find is that most who followers her kind of tenets are, she believes that those who need to find their own path and their own destinies, that nothing is really determined, or to it's basically like a whatever happens. Nothing is predetermined for you.
After finishing that up, I want to see if I can find any books on Gorvash, the Ashen Hammer.
Make another investigation.
Let me get something good here. Investigation. 14.
Find kind of brief mentions of on a couple of books that kind of give vague mentions of an ancient blacksmith from the First Age, but it's like almost like it's almost like written in passing. There's nothing really defined. What you're able to find.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like him, kind of not. You're not really sure.
How much time do I have before the meeting? I was to look out the window.
She didn't really say. She didn't really give you a time. She just said tomorrow.
Okay.
So most likely it's probably during school hours.
Alright. I guess I'd head over to her office and see if she's in there then.
Yeah. As you take the teleportation circle up there, you see he is there behind her desk, working away. I'll just be up there.
Alright. I will walk to their door and knock on it.
See, the doors kind of seem to just open by themselves.
I will walk in and say, "Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I've came to finish discussing what we were talking about yesterday.
I've given some thought, and I will allow it, given that it does not interfere with the students' work.
Well, thank you. I'll leave some flyers down on the receptionist's desk for them to put up. And do you care if I hang some flyers up around the hallways?
Lobby is fine.
Right. Sounds very good. And then one question I want to ask you. I'm doing some research on someone and was seeing if you knew anything about them.
Who exactly?
Gorvash, the Ashen Hammer.
He thinks for a moment. Doesn't ring a bell. I'm afraid if we have anything, it'll be in our libraries. Or you can try the archive.
I might try the archive. Give it a look over. Thank you. I'll be on my way.
Just maybe outside.
Alright. And then as I exit, I'll hand the guy at the front desk a handful of the flyers and say the headmaster said I could leave these here for the students to pick up if they're interested in coming and listening.
You kind of just you can tell, like, still from your previous interaction, he still doesn't very much. You tell by his look that he's like, oh, fine, whatever. Kind of throws him down, not even looking at it.
I'll tell him one day we could have a rematch.
Let's see you try.
I'll walk out the door.
What are the other two? What are the rest of you doing?
Oh, I had just sent you a message because I didn't want to interrupt out loud.
We've always had her schedule that she's been sticking to. Depending on the time, she would have been back in the taverns.
The magic shop wouldn't have silver moss a herb. What is it?
Yeah, it's the one that's it's the used in the key ingredient in healing salves one.
A magic shop wouldn't really have it, but most likely a like herbalist shop would.
Yeah, what's it called? The apothecary,
Yeah.
like the one in fucking White Run.
I think the smut shop might have it actually. You should check that out.
That actually, honestly, above table, that would logically make sense for like that kind of shop to sell healing salve, just in case something goes wrong. You never know.
You never know.
Someone could be really into like sharp objects, and then you roll a nat 20 on them.
I want to try and go to where the blacksmiths are and go over there and see if I see any old dwarven blacksmiths around.
That being said, is there an apothecary in Vale?
Yes. Unlock that. It is.
Mhm.
It's right here.
Move my camera.
Near the Magic School in Guild Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a logical place to put it. I had to move my camera because I had it like super zoomed in on the tavern still. I was at like table height in the tavern.
And where might the blacksmiths be?
The blacksmith is. Oh, just a second ago. Blacksmith is here.
Wait, okay. Alright. When I get over here, I want to try and look around for the oldest blacksmith I can that's dwarven.
There's not really a dwarven blacksmith. There is a human blacksmith, kind of a little older, probably looks late 40s. And it's like salt and pepper hair. Now we're back.
Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that to as many.
What's that?
Alright, let me stream it for you right here. Cost as many, because me and Late did the I am Vecna on him. I don't know how well that will come across.
Ah.
There we go. The cat eye that Vecna has,
Yeah.
and then his normal eye. How tall is Phalar?
Let me look here.
How tall is Ivora too?
I don't know if I put it in because it's not showing, but it might just be D&D Beyond being fucky. He was a wood elf before becoming disembodied, though, so...
What'd you say, Ivora?
He's 6 foot something. I can't remember.
Phalar's probably in the 6 foot range, given elves tend to be tall.
Yeah, Klaus is, I think, 6'2" or 6'3".
My German teacher, when I was in high school, was 6'4".
I'm 6'3", so I can just think about. I can imagine.
And it was kind of terrifying because he was broad-shouldered and had like a very square, body and face and everything. So he was kind of intimidating sometimes, especially because he had RBF. So he just always looked mad. He was a cool person, but like he did at one point in class. He was like, what was it? A lot of you might have heard from my previous students from other years or other semesters and classes that I can be scary, and it makes sense that they'd say that. I'm 6'4" with an RBF in a school full of people that are on average 4 to 5 feet.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Alright, so who's looking for what?
I was gonna ask this blacksmith if he knew of any blacksmiths in the area or within the continent that might have some knowledge of blacksmiths from the first age.
How far back? Think any there are, probably not alive, but if you want information about the first stage, I'd try the archive.
I don't know if the archive would have what I'm looking for this blacksmith. Maybe you might know of him. Gorvash, the Ashen Hammer.
Never heard of him.
Cool. How are you? Let me ask you a question here. I'm flipping it real quick on you, I know. But how do you like working here? You make pretty good?
Yeah, pays the bills.
How would you like somewhere where you could work and make weapons and armor and not have to worry about bills. You're able to put your craft to the best work it can be.
Thanks for a moment. Nah, I'm good.
Alright, well, I'm gonna leave this here for you, and if you ever feel like this isn't fulfilling you anymore, and you want to explore and learn new techniques, and see where you can go with your craft to even newer heights, take this coin and go to the tavern in Moonstone Village.
He kind of looks it over. Vilra, as you're kind of hanging in the tavern, this kind of guy in like raggedy clothes, kind of stumbling towards you, looks very much drunk. Kind of gets a little closer, kind of stumbles on the table and says, "Oh, sorry," and then kind of walks away.
Oh, issue. She's gonna eat the. What food they got in the tavern? She's just been eating some new eats.
They got them Fruit Loops.
Yeah, that beef jerky.
She's gonna eat and she enjoying that food. She's been eating just creature meat for ages. Some bad foods.
He's eating some Weetabix.
Weetabix and some chocolate chips. Maybe a couple apples on the sides. Not in the Weetabix, but on the sides. Not sure how chocolate and apples would go in a Weetabix. I feel like that would taste kind of weird.
That's the only British food I know.
Oh, you don't know about a full English breakfast.
Yeah, beans on toast? No, thank you.
It's beans, toast, a fried egg, and if I remember correctly, it's bacon and sausage. The Phalar is out, correct?
Yeah, he is approaching. He wants to get some, like, you know, the basic kit stock up since he's mostly just been foraging. So that he actually has more to work with. I'd like to mention, just as fair warning, that Late has told me that with me doing this whole alchemy experimentation thing, if I try to craft something and I roll the alchemy, like, you know, roll for it, and I don't roll very well, then he has a table that he's gonna use that gives random potion effects.
Yeah, so it'd be really good or really bad.
So, like, I could try to, at some point, I could, like, let's say, I don't know, I extract the oil from silver moss, and then I use it in combination with fire bloom to be able to create, like, some sort of healing mist bomb thing. And if I try to do that and I do it wrong, then instead, like, I throw the bomb and it just, like, makes you pass out. Or it just is a normal bomb. Go throw it at somebody and it just creates the effective ray of sickness on everybody that it hits. It's like, I thought you said this was gonna heal me.
Hey, like, if you want, I sent a message. We could do it in EC. That's easier.
All right. Be right back. Secret channel time.
No, I was gonna say no. It doesn't need to be secret channel. It can be
Okay.
out here. So you just don't mention the name of the person.
Okay.
We just don't mention that name right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the voice. So, what is this about? This Ventress?
Yes, recent reports from my spies. He's the one claiming responsibility and wanting to better that as he just points upwards.
It's he.
And if that were to happen, I don't need to remind you of how,
He's bad for business.
yes, involved mortals. War happens again.
No. As you can see, we received reports about a meeting. But where was this meeting? When did it take place?
Uh, Spies say it was just east of here in a clearing. No, so not too far.
Oh, and an elf. It better not be the Alpha, no, or I will have to deal with that immediately.
They weren't able to get a good look. They're watching from a distance, but it's what they saw.
Well, if you hear any more information, you know where to find me.
Precious already
Not.
taken care of.
She returned.
As you're
So, for the thing, that's some nice view.
alright, so going back to Taylor, as you enter the shop, you see kind of a younger woman kind of behind the desk and looks up from her book saying, "How can I help you?"
That kind of walks in. She's looking around. And all the things that are around. And he's like, just of course making sure that I've walked myself into the right building. I was told that there was an apothecary around this part of town.
Yes, there is. Yes, you found it. We also kind of operate as a general store as well. And she kind of motions to the like basic supplies around her.
So he kind of looks around and he gives a nod and he's like, that is actually quite good to know. I've been wondering where to find such things. I came in as I'm a bit of novice in terms of practicing some alchemical study recently, and I was hoping that I would possibly be able to stock up on some of the basics, things that would be found commonly, so that I don't have to worry about not having them. I've got a bit of silver moss with me, but not much, for example.
Well, anything you have, it's available in that chest over there. She points to like the chest kind of propped open.
And makes his way over. He's like, you wouldn't mind if I take a moment to look through it?
Go ahead. I'm here if you need anything.
Appreciated.
As you look, you have silver moss. Not a ton, but enough to probably get you started.
You're probably searching through it for a moment. I'm also eating right now, so I might be a bit slow on the response.
Yeah, I'm eating too, so.
I don't know how we want to, like, do what I find here, so I was just kind of trying to think of how to ask or word that.
Yeah, because I didn't really have like in their inventory. I didn't really set a set amount. So, like they're like in general, they probably have enough for maybe like 4 or 5 healing salves.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we wanted to, like, roll to see how many units they've got in stock or whatever.
Yeah, let's see. Or that. Put that by accident. Say. Yeah, I'll do 1d10. I'll say we'll say 5 handfuls.
Alright. Oh, Discord, nope, stop. My phone has a screen pressure problem and it decided to hit the home button by itself.
Oof.
So we'll probably pick those up. And then he kind of looks up over at her and is just kind of like, what else do you think would be recommended for someone starting? I am working with an adventuring party, of course. I will note we do have a lack of a dedicated healer. There's that.
Yeah, I would also recommend some healing kits, just in case, so you can at least stabilize basic wounds and cuts and scrapes. I do have, and I can give you a basic supply for, make basic healing potions and.
That's actually, yes, I think would be
I would
probably the
recommend
better option.
maybe give you some stuff to get started, maybe a couple of healing kits.
If you want to get that put together, I can wait. I've got time.
Walks, probably takes you like 5 or 10 minutes, but we'll say 2 healing kits plus basic alchemy herbs. I'll say it'll cost you 2 gold for everything.
All right. Probably be more expensive if it wasn't for the fact that it's all in its raw ingredient state.
Puts in a small bag and hands it over to you.
He takes it.
Enough to get you started.
He takes it. Little bit of a fleeting smile on his face for a moment. And he gives a nod, sets his payment down on the table. He says, "It is very much appreciated, really. I have wanted to get into this sort of thing as of late. I suppose maybe to give my mind something to focus on. I don't have many hobbies myself outside of the quests that my party and I are going on. I appreciate it."
He nods.
He just kind of starts to make his way back to the door. And he kind of looks back. He's like, "Depending on how this goes, I might be back at some point to pick up something else, but it all depends on where me and my party end up finding ourselves. I do wish you a good day."
He gives a small smile and, well,
As of course, he steps out, closes the door, starts to head his way back down the street.
alright, so if that's it, we can kind of fast forward.
Yeah, after I get down at the blacksmith, I'd go to the tavern and tell the group I'm leaving for 2 weeks or so for some personal business and head to the Citadel to train.
Alright.
Maybe then the village just says, "Do you? I'm just gonna enjoy some of these meals that they have in town."
And Klaus, before he leaves, said if you're looking to enjoy some meals,
I'm not joining your cults.
No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just telling you. If you're looking for some good meals, go to the Ivory and Emerald.
I'll give it a look.
They're
That's basically like the town's like 5-star restaurant. Expensive meals, fine dining.
the gold leaf chimera fillet is really good.
Perfect. She's gonna go there not every day, but like if we were to say he was gone for 2 weeks, like every Friday, little treats.
All right.
And I'm gonna go train to try and boost my con.
Let's see how well you do. Make doing this basically every day. I'll say make 5 Constitution saving throws.
Alright. First one's a natural 20.
All right, we'll count that. Okay.
Second one's a 13.
All right.
Next one's a 14.
All right.
And then clear all. The next one is a 6. That's 4. How many do I need to make? 4 or 5?
5.
And then the fifth one is another 13.
This kicks your ass. I'm gonna say after those 2 weeks and you come back, you're gonna have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Alright.
You are just wiped out.
You make a D20 test roll, your roll is reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level. Okay. It's not too bad.
We're going with the
The legacy?
Yeah.
Okay. Minus 4 to D20 test and minus 10 foot speed. Oh no, legacy speed halved. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that we're playing in 5.25 edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5.25. All right, I'll be right back. I'm back.
Welcome back. And I guess I'll just keep practicing those every day until even once I'm back to just try to increase my con slowly over time. Once I heal up from these 2 levels of exhaustion. Where am I now?
And if I'll be right back for secret chat.
Secrets.
Secret. All right.
Vera would go as her alias as the Gilded Ghost. And it's up to you how we're going to actually meet exactly.
Keep in mind, he doesn't even know about you yet.
You would likely go to...
House, maybe?
First, you'd go to the Bloomed one and talk about basically how she just wants to gather more information on her own terms. It's not a front against him, and it's not a rival business. It's a completely different industry. So it wouldn't step on his toes whatsoever.
I think you'd
And
be fine with it as long as you share any relevant.
Oh, of course. Is there any information that you're interested in, just to ensure?
Just if anything were to interfere with my business.
But now, you were saying that in town there was a certain scholar type of person, the person who Klaus saw quite often, correct?
Yes.
That is the type of person that I'd like to meet. Someone who values information. Is it possible you could set up a little meeting?
Certainly. Give me a moment as he kind of walks further away. Seems speaking to a sending stone. Probably no more than probably 2, maybe 3, probably close to like 10 minutes later. Like there's like this flash of green flames as you see. Kind of stepping forward is this a orc, probably in his later years. Tufts of like gray hair, uh kind of a guy you can tell who has definitely like the wear and the stoicness of someone who's been around for a while, with like low spectacles kind of hanging on the end of his nose, wearing like these real binary clothes, kind of leaning on a cane.
He does a little bow of her head. A pleasure.
Pleasure.
Known as the Gilded Ghost.
You may call me Silas.
And obviously, our mutual friend right here, the bloomed one.
He gives a courteous nod to one.
Would you mind we go somewhere private? And she's gonna go and say, "Bloomed one, would you mind?" And she's gonna take out a little pouch of gold and say, "I'm willing to pay, of course, just for a little table and desk, maybe a couple drinks."
And gives like it gives a little motion with his finger, and probably like in the far corner has table and chairs set up, bottle of wine, 2 glasses.
He's going to stand up and do go for a handshake and say, "It's always a pleasure doing business with you."
Is that the Silas or the Bloom one?
To the bloomed one.
Shakes it and nod.
He just does a little hand gesture to take a seat as he sits down.
He kind of slowly kind of limps over and sits on the down.
Now, as a man of your esteemed, from what I've heard, I'm going to get right to the point instead of beating around the bush. Essentially, what is a little offer I have.
He kind of. All right, I'm listening.
As you can see, I have a quite close relation with the bloomed one, where you have a mutual partnership going on. But of course, in business, you must have your own things you do.
Yes, I have my businesses that's quite profitable.
This one is profitable in a different way. This one is profitable by information.
I
Gold
see.
can gold can build you a house, but information can topple a nation. It can bend anyone to their whims. And essentially, it's it's an organization who benefits from this information. We pass it
He's.
along amongst each other.
You see, he's
Benefit from it.
staring as you're saying this. He kind of holds up a hand to kind of stop you mid sentence, and he says, "Don't beat around the bush. I know you serve him."
You can be there like, oh, you talking about my Patreon or
Patron.
yes, I do serve Orcus. What about it?
He just, as you see the illusion drop, you see his tires. You see now he's more or less wearing like black and purple robes, a like very similar like black, almost featureless face mask. You see him kind of up, almost like palming it and pull it away. Still see a lot of the same orcish features, but you see the skin is dried, pulled back, and almost like a yellowish green. Where their eyes, you just see blue flames. You see signs of somebody who has clearly completed the process of becoming a lich.
He's going to do a smile. Quite impressive, actually. About to become a lich, it looks like.
He helped me acquire the knowledge to complete the process. And in return, I help him with certain research.
Helps me achieve my purpose. Which, as she's gonna do, actually, a little smile as she's gonna drop her gilded one. As a fellow follower of Orcus, I can actually tell you what my goals are. Put the little cards on the table. As I
All
said,
right.
information is power. And I'm attempting to get the information I need to, one, deal with, as she just rolls her eyes, deal with this venturous person who's essentially going to harm the natural order of things. And straight after, usurp the throne of the Raven Queen.
Interesting.
As she pours the drink, now this is where it benefits us both. Information, of course, is a tool. And from what it looks like, you are about to become a lich, but you're not there yet. Just about.
Nods.
I'm guessing you need a couple puzzle pieces still.
Nods.
Now, what it is, I have a couple of common folk, brothel workers. Now, at first, people think, oh, these people are not going to know anything. They're just the lowdowns. But they're the people who listen. The people who are high up tell their entire life stories to. They tell them about how they have a unique thing that they've done, a person they've met. Now, so far, I have exactly 5 loyal people to me at the moment, all of which I will not mention who they are, and I will not to anyone who wants to join the Phantom Ledger, will not have their names ever told. Discretion is important. Even if they compulse me to say the name, I'd rather die than give away that information. So essentially, if you're interested in this deal, you just carry on your normal duties. And any time that I have information that you want, I pass it along. And any time you have information I want, pass it along. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
My only concern is stretching the boundaries to do what's not possible.
That depends what you're trying to do.
Than many things. Mostly my partner,
Let me guess.
wider into my use of magic, a new
Let me guess.
creation
Klaus.
is
Now, the one caveat to do this deal is, as I said, the discretion is important on all sides. Same deal I made with everyone. Not a soul. Not even your wife in passing or your favorite person. You never mention who is part of the Phantom Ledger. Second someone's name gets revealed, then is it even a spy network or will it become a criminal organization? But you don't want it to be that. You want it to be a hub of information. Straight after this, I'm about to go to the church and see who I can talk to there also. Or the church is, sorry.
so. What exactly do you need from me?
quite simple. If you find any information on a way to get through the gates without having to break it, let me know. And if I find more ways, speed up your progression of becoming a lich, well, he's gonna go and actually summon out her sword for a second, not a threat. Focus is inside. The path of focus is inside of here. But me and him can have a long conversation about options to help you.
Very aware most of the opponents are quite different. Fire.
He's gonna say, well, if you ever see me in this face, most of the time I'm in the tavern. Just wait until I go into the other face, and then just let me know what components you need, and I'll see what I can do.
Uh,
He's gonna drink the glass, or she's gonna go and pour his glass in her glass and raise it to do a toast.
yes.
Yes. Think he sips on it and says, as I said, you just do your normal thing, and whenever we need to transfer information, we'll work out a way. Where would be best to meet you, though? However, equal discretion, of course. I don't want to just show up at your house every week.
You quite a journey, but east of here there is a village that I helped found called Moonbrook. I have a safe house there. About half a day's travel. Either send a messenger to the tavern keeper there that you want to meet, and we'll come up with a discreet place to meet.
And if anything, I could also purchase a seal to be able to, a magic teleportation seal to go from A to B, if anything.
Nod. Stands up and says, anyway, I have other business to attend to. He'll kind of walk away and
Of
mutter
course.
incantation under his breath, cast teleport, and disappear.
And the last thing she can do whilst she does a little thank you to the bloomed one, he's gonna go over to the churches and try and you're gonna try and see which gods are there. Like, obviously, I know there's probably gonna be a lot of holy, but there's probably are there some morally grey gods there? Like,
There's like there's like more, there's the more holy gods, and there's some that are more like neutral. They'll kind of lean either way depending on what's happening, and then there's the darker deities.
he's gonna go to the dark, look for someone who's basically like high up in the higher deities or the darker deities. Sorry, he's looking for like a
He-
priest or someone like that.
yeah, there's a couple of priests and clerks and walking around.
He's gonna go and tap one on the shoulder and say, "Is there by any chance the high priest of this? Can't remember the word for it, of this church? That's what I can say."
Uh, Fortunately, is out giving last rites. There's actually an execution this morning.
Fortunate. Do you know what time he will be back?
Kind of looks up at the sky. Probably a couple hours.
Perfect. She's gonna walk off. Her head's been still up, and she's been in the other appearance. So she walks off, and she's gonna go and change and just go back to the tavern, resume her normal
I will
routine.
pop back up then.
More year of high school, and it didn't like I never broke it, and that should tell you a testament to like the Razer brand's durability is
Yeah.
like it being handled by like that headset being handled by me as a childling and getting dropped constantly and beaten around, and it managed to last like 6.5 years.
Yeah.
What did I come back to?
And-
We're
Finally
talking
did
about
that.
headphones.
Yeah, because he was asking why I don't do everything on the computer, and I pointed out that the PC is powerful enough to do it that I'm running on now, but I don't have a headphone jack or a Y splitter for the computer, and the Bluetooth headset that I have, which is a Razer Nari, I don't know where the nub is that you have to plug into the USB port for it to get Bluetooth on it. Oh, that and the Bluetooth drivers on this computer are fucked, and I don't know how to fix them. I just remembered that one. There is no Bluetooth button in the settings.
Yeah, then. Damn.
At some point during some firmware update, the Bluetooth driver ended up outdated compared to everything else, so now there's just not a Bluetooth button in the settings. It just doesn't exist. You can imagine how confusing that was when I first looked up how to turn the Bluetooth on this thing, and I see the thing in the video, and it's just not there on my computer, and I'm like, what the fuck? I told my dad about it, and he was like, yeah. The driver's probably outdated for it, and the problem is that the admin password that locks you from being able to update stuff on this PC is like 4 years old, and he can't find where he wrote it down at.
Oof. I would say, Baylor, you notice that from where you are, there's quite a gathering going on outside the prison.
Oh. Get my phone plugged in. So he's kind of looking. Oh. God damn it. Sorry, my mouse has decided to do the thing where it disconnects. So, just kind of looking over, kind of like a tilt on his head, because he's just kind of like, that's kind of interesting. And then he kind of like he's kind of looking in, like seeing, does he like recognize anybody in the crowd or any of that kind of stuff, or like does it seem like a calm meeting, or is it like something bad's going on?
You know, you can gather that you can see the gallows out front. You can gather there's probably an execution that's taking place.
Palar kind of, being who he is, while he was on his way back to the tavern and he's seeing this, he does kind of like ignore it a bit, and then he looks back over kind of like from the side of his head, and then he kind of looks back towards the tavern, and then he sighs and kind of, just kind of calmly making his way in the direction to see if he can get a closer look at everything. It's not his fault. He's inherently attracted to death.
I mean, Phalar is kind of half dead already.
Yeah, that and his past.
Yeah, true.
The reason that it says on his character sheet that he feels a jolt whenever he takes a life.
So as you as you get closer, you see that you see there's like a priest there giving last rites. There's quite a gathering. A lot of the crowd seems very cheery right now, like they're yelling at the guy, throwing insults.
I like gather maybe what he's being executed for by listening into what people are saying.
Make a perception check.
Or see if I recognize this person. Maybe just put those both into the same check. The hell did I just do? I'm doubting I'm gonna recognize them. It's just like, you know, just a... Hey, what if? I'm mostly interested in, like... What is he in there for? Okay.
The 21, I'll say he... You see, from the whispering of the crowd that he's accused of murdering, he's a bandit who's been arrested for pillaging and murder.
Taylor's just kind of looking on at everything, and on one hand, he is kind of like, you know, sucks that someone has to die in his head, but on the other hand, he's like, you know, it's not really my place to mess with it.
Yeah.
So he probably stands for a couple minutes before he turns, you know, breaks his focus and turns and starts heading back towards the tavern.
On their roof. Eventually he's dropped, and after a while, people kind of part ways, and guards just stand there, keep watch.
I think there's a part of Phalar that knowing that he's able to communicate with the dead is like, I'm interested to know, but at the same time, he's like, I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
Because, like, he was just kind of standing there, and it's that kind of moral thing in his head where he's like, if I go ghost and I go talk to this dead guy, and he's like, oh, I was innocent, and then I come back and tell everybody that he said he was innocent and everything. Well, then, there's that. But at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'd rather not know.
But I think besides that, the last little bit of time kind of goes by, and I'll say it's been about a month y'all have had since downtime.
Yeah, I'll just spend my rest of mine just drinking and resting to get rid of my exhaustion. Not doing anything.
All right.
Just gonna pass along some information to Phalar when she sees him next in tavern. Oh, Fela, a little birdie told me that. First of all, have you heard of the name Ventus by any chance?
What was that?
Have you heard of the name of someone called Ventress by any chance?
Baylor immediately gets that look on his face like he doesn't like the name, and he's just like, oh, yes, of course, I mean, how could we have not heard that name at least 3 or 4 times now?
What do you know about him?
Well, mainly that he's kind of the one responsible for the trouble that we've been having. This whole cult business since the farm at the festival that has happened. Seems to be rather full of himself, if you ask me, more in the sense of very confident that he's untouchable. It annoys me. As well as the fact that his goals, of course.
Everyone thinks they're untouchable until you know exactly about their movings.
Taylor kind of, I was there for a brief moment myself, and that's one of the reasons that it annoys me when other people see themselves as such. Look at where that got me.
He's gonna cross her legs and just like almost be just moving her foot a lot, saying, well, someone did tell me that recently he had a meeting about, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it east of here in a forest?
Yeah.
He's from here in a forest with an orc and an elf. I'm gonna raise a neck when I see this person.
Kind of rubs his chin a little bit. And he says, we do, it's interesting, really. We might just have to be sure that it isn't Klaus, though at the same time I doubt that it would be. I do know that he knows an orc, one of his old friends. I went with him to his place, actually, when I went to do my own personal business, but I couldn't imagine that it would be Klaus.
Is Silas I keep hearing about?
Silas? Yes, I believe is his name. I do believe that that is the orc. It is.
It's better we
It is
ask the question
than to speculate.
Exactly.
Especially considering what we do know about Klaus's goals, I can't imagine that they would be meeting on good terms. If they were to meet at all, I could imagine it being some kind of intervention.
He does like a weighing scale. I mean, from what I know, he wants to shatter the gates. He just wants to kill a god, which in some places you would see as you need to shatter the gates to kill a certain god.
That is true, but I can't imagine.
The enemy is my friend, so that's why I want to ask him outright.
Thinking about it, and it may just be the nature of things that I have seen within the own groups that I used to associate with. It could be a bit of a deceptive play when you think about it, sort of maybe trying to get on good terms with the enemy, because if they're trying to break the barrier and Klaus wants to kill the god that Ventress is building a cult for, he could try to get onto Ventress's good side and make himself appear as if they're trying to work towards the same goal when he's only using Ventress's goal to further his own.
Exactly.
It kind of
And
stops for a moment,
until he
looks
gets
down.
there.
It kind of stops for a moment, looks down, looks back up to you, and is like, "Sorry, I got a bit lost in my head there. Deceptive nature was quite common in my old group."
Totally fine. That's exactly why I just want to ask him.
If it is his plan to do something as such, that would honestly be, I do have to admit, a bit of a clever choice to falsely ally with someone such as Ventress when he's working against him anyways.
Where is Klaus,
Sure,
Klaus
we-
during all this?
Just up in his room, hanging out,
Okay.
drinking in his room.
Alright.
Though that
How
being
sure
said,
exactly are we
I-
that he wouldn't work with Ventress?
given what I've heard so far, well, even before you arrived within the group, it does seem that Klaus has a very burning hatred for anyone who finds themselves to be an ally with the Hunger. It's one of the few things that he seems to actually have a dislike for.
It's been a hot minute. What? Actually, hold on. I'll check up in my DMs. The Hunger?
The Cold Hunger is another name for Umbriel.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other Hunger.
Nah.
Called the Cold Hunger.
Yeah, it's just like the cryptic name for Umbriel, and Phalar with his history doesn't like to say the actual names of deity creatures if he can avoid it. He treats
just
names
gonna-
very with a certain weight.
But it's just bouncing more, just there like, Lots of layers to this right now. Either way, what it looks like, and I could tell straight away, Ventress is, for me personally, in my way. As I'm not sure if you were there, but what I want is actually quite, between me and you, it's actually quite close to what Klaus wants. Klaus wants to kill a god. I want to kill or usurp a god. Or pretty much either both, or at least usurp.
If anything, I do think that, asking him is likely the right option.
Exactly. I'm waiting for him to come down from his bedroom. I do have to say though, the food in this tavern, I was expecting it to be horrible, but it's actually not that bad. I've been having it since our little break, and I wouldn't mind having another bite to eat whilst waiting for him. He's gonna go and get some food, and she's waiting for Klaus.
I'll see kind of a looking kind of half orc kind of walk by, kind of hobbling along with a cane. Goes into the other room and orders some food.
No. She's gonna wait behind him just for him to finish so she can order her food.
And go sit in
He's just gonna pay attention to where that half-orc is, just like a mental note.
Okay.
She's just gonna order some foods and, as I said, just wait for Klaus.
Klaus would come downstairs and head straight to the barkeeper. And he would like to order 2 barrels of mead.
Alright, kind of heaves him over to the side of the bar. Oh, the gold.
How much did you say?
1 gold for both.
2 barrels? I'll eat that. Take a price.
I mean, meat's cheap to make, so.
Yeah.
Even IRL, you just, yeah.
Yeah. Honey, water, and yeast.
Sometimes berries.
Yeah. I guess he would get the 2 barrels and start walking back up to his room.
As you're walking past Klaus, Aurora's gonna say, Klaus, before you go up, you do have a couple questions quickly to ask.
He would set the barrels down and look at her and say yes.
Would you like to go with the first one very long? I'll go after. I'm gonna go quite straight to the point.
Well, since you're the one that brought it to my attention, it's maybe best if you go direct with it. I can be a bit hard to initiate confrontation.
No, I'll be straight to the point, Klaus. Then I've already told you 2 people met of interest, and I would like to ask if one of those 2 people are you.
It was.
Now, Klaus, at this time when you're gonna have to be fully open, what did you talk to Ventress about?
We talked about killing gods and things of that nature and what he needs to be able to kill the gods.
So what you essentially just said is you are potentially making a deal with him.
That was on the table, but it is no longer an option for me. And he would grab that amulet around his neck and say, when I got this amulet and the backing of this deity, one of the stipulations were not to help Ventress, or my thread would be cut.
So essentially, if you didn't make that deal, you would make a deal with him.
Possibly. Until our paths didn't align anymore. Until his usefulness ran out.
Now, Klaus, you can't imagine that I wouldn't be suspicious about that and wouldn't think, what about us? When does our use no longer become use to you? And what it's also already worked out through the past month, in the past days that we knew each other. As long as you don't interfere with Klaus's plans, Klaus doesn't care. But the second you're in the way, then Klaus finds ways to put you out of your... That's what I mean. Essentially, you're in it for yourself.
That is correct. I do not expect us to grow old, all of us to grow old and live happy lives together. We are here for a mutual thing. I tolerate people. There's some I consider close friends who I do for, but I am not going to go out of my way to help people. Everything I do
is transactional, as long as it's always, if I do X for you, you do Y for me. What's already told me already.
Is that all you had for me?
He just waves her hand and says, "Go ahead upstairs."
He had to grab his 2 barrels and head upstairs.
Alright.
Fela, as he goes upstairs, he says, "And Fela, you really think it's ideal to trust Klaus?"
Taylor kind of takes a breath and he says, "To be honest with you, and really anyone, as I've made it a clear point, I don't think you were in the party yet, but I put skepticism against everyone in quite equal measures, really. Something that I was taught along my way. Even with you, that's not to say it's anything directly against you or anyone else in the party, but I find it hard to truly trust most people, other than myself."
In most situations, trusting just yourself is advisable, and only yourself. But when there's so many pieces in the chessboards, you do need people you can trust. You have Klaus and his cult, Ventress and his people. You have... She pauses and says, "Other players in the game."
Taylor kind of looks away for a moment, then looks back and is like, "All things considered, I mean, it's also fully possible that there may still be people that I knew from my past as well that don't want me on this material plane anymore. I'm just lucky that we have yet to encounter them."
What I'm saying, Fela, I say is just a piece of advice. Just be careful.
Oh, I do fully intend to be careful most of the time. 'Tis one of the things that I never let slip is my guard. That is why I have the giant stone guardian with me at all times.
He's gonna say, because surprisingly, as she actually just does a little smile as she takes the bites, you and Otto are actually people I'm actually rather fond of. And that's quite rare.
Kind of tilts his head a little bit. He's like, "That being said, I do have to pause you and ask what it is that I could possibly have done to gain favor. I don't talk much about myself, and I don't do much within the party other than generally agree with the majority of what we're doing.
As y'all are having this conversation, y'all see Klaus come back down and immediately cut into the other room. Without saying a word.
I'm gonna say. Now, Otto and I have had many talks, but the difference is, as she just sees Klaus walk by, that's why. Secrecy and stuff like that is always.
He kind of does like a motion with his hand, like he's kind of like gesturing towards you, and he's like, that exactly, however, is why I ask how I've managed to be someone that you find any degree of fondness for. I don't share who I am, other than that at some point in my past I made a mistake that I'm trying to rectify that's left my body like this.
But I feel like if I was to ask you, which I won't, out of respect for you, that you won't just find a way to just subvert it, to just basically beat around the bush in a sense.
What I will say, because I have said it before around other party members, but you were a bit late to have heard it, is I myself was, at one point, not any longer, part of cultic activity. That's why I show such disdain and disgust towards Ventress. I fear for the things that I did when I was in that particular group, and it is why I am who I am today. I am trying to find a path to redeem myself, get out of my former shadow, if you will.
That is what's important, as she carries on eating.
I have
You're
found
gonna
it
say,
quite
right,
difficult
hey, I'm eating
sometimes.
butter. I can obviously not relate or speak for myself because I'm not that type of person. But being better is all that matters, I guess. Yeah, and she does like a little shiver just there, like, ugh, I'm not good at these type of things.
Meanwhile, the class as you come back,
Meanwhile,
you see Silas is in his usual disguise, kind of sitting in a corner, sipping wine, chilling.
He would grab a seat and sit down and ask him how he's doing.
Good, I'm good.
I would ask him if he had seen Ollie yet.
Shakes his head. You remember you never got a response from Ollie.
Yeah. I want to try and reach out to him again and see if he answers.
Only a D100. It's a D10.
Oh.
You have to roll a D10 and the percent dot dice, which is the 0, 0. You have to roll them both. You have to roll them both together.
Okay. Five. Or 50.
5. As you kind of send it out, you get static. But you don't seem to. It seems most likely he is probably not on the material plane.
Okay.
Most likely, knowing him, he's probably in his usual place.
Yeah. Uh, well, I'll just tell him we'll continue without Ollie. But
So, that you wanted to discuss exactly?
I want to talk about something that I've found very interesting. I think we could do.
What
Oh,
exactly?
two things. One, there's a lot of research we can't get to because it's held down by the government and the empire. And I think
What, you mean the archive?
well, parts of the archive we can't get to that aren't accessible to the public. That
Well,
are,
actually, you wouldn't know because you haven't gone to the archive and looked. So you don't know if there's
well, I'm sure
if there's a forbidden section.
every government has a forbidden section. Um, okay, well, I'll pin that one for now, so I can go to the archive. So one thing for us to talk about, I have made a deal and had pull out the amulet. A very risky deal for me to not help Ventress and have aligned myself with the deity of fates.
Interesting.
But what I think we should do, because one of the stipulations were I cannot help Ventress, but when we were meeting him, he said he wanted us to drop the artifacts, or wanted me to drop the artifacts at dead drops. What I'm thinking is, instead of me dropping them there, whenever I come across some artifacts, I'd send them to you, and you can study them. And we'll come up with our own plan.
You know, I have no interest in that religious crap.
I know, but whatever he's doing is having to do with arcane. The last relic we recovered here recently, it was to who was that big bone to? I can't remember.
Orcus.
The last relic we recovered was imbued with power to Orcus, but it faded pretty quickly before I could do research on it. So there's definitely arcane and something he's doing magical with these. I do not quite know. But if we could harness that power, there's no telling what we can do with it.
You mean the power of what he's trying to do, or the artifacts?
The artifacts themselves. Because I have quite a few ideas, like here to point out the window to the arcane eye and the guards that are standing over there. And you'd say, like them, they are one of our biggest enemies with those sentinels that can dampen our power. But if we can study these artifacts and maybe capture a sentinel, we can reverse engineer this and make our own sentinels that boost the arcane and the weave power when you're around them instead of subduing it.
You do realize that artifacts of a deity's, if we were to mess with it, we would send out a beacon so damn large that the arcane eye would be on us like a moth to a flame. I will not risk that or my research on such trivialities.
Fine.
You can tell by his tone, he is dead fucking serious. Like, because he is not going to mess with anything that is going to bring the arcane eye to his doorstep.
Sounds good. Lord Costa tell him to have a good day and he'd leave.
Well, then what will you do with the artifacts then?
I don't know. Break them, burn them, sell them.
Careful, you're playing a dangerous game here. As you're kind of walking away, you hear him mutter something to himself. Orcish.
I would just go back up to my room.
Alright.
The question is, Taylor, how exactly are we going to proceed? We have someone who's working, who can't technically work with the cults, but it is in his interest to work with the cults. We don't want to work with the cults, so what is? I'm very confused. What is happen next?
Well, considering what we do know and what Klaus elaborated on, I don't think at current possible for him to make any sort of deal with Ventress, so it is likely that we continue to work against them as a group still. Of course, caution as always. Gonna sit for a moment. He's like, the reason I say that is because the way that I think of it is, it seems as if Klaus tries to work with Ventress's cult, either he dies or he loses his ability to use any of his power, which either way I can't imagine he would enjoy.
I'm just gonna do like a little laugh as she says, if he would have spoken to me for literally a couple seconds and wasn't always in secrecy and mystery, I could have literally given him my idea.
It is definitely an interesting situation that our party has gotten themselves into.
I guess Klaus is hanging in the roof.
I'm trying to find me because I was about to go back downstairs and go outside.
Yeah, because
I found my.
Yeah,
That's,
you're
that's,
like in the attic.
yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go back downstairs and make my way outside. Uh, is this the fight pit right behind the tavern?
With the open roof, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I want to make my way there.
You see Silas is following you. He wants to talk.
I'm just gonna keep making my way inside. I'll go up to the organizer and ask if they have any fights going on still.
Undone bouts at the moment.
No bouts at the moment.
He said unarmed fights at the moment.
Who's the
Okay.
toughest one you have?
They basically have like a big, mud pit set up right now.
Yeah. Who's the strongest, biggest one you have?
George, he's our reigning champion.
I want to fight him.
1 gold entry fee.
Alright. I'll give him my 1 gold.
So you just straight up ignoring Silas at the moment?
Yeah.
Klaus mad at Silas.
I guess I'll wait on George.
You know what? We'll use Ugo's mini. Why not?
They just like brought him back from the dead. How do you think Klaus would feel about that? Just like we went on that whole arc of hunting down and killing Ugo, and then he's just like zombified and brought back to life and is now in the rain. He's like, God damn it!
He's just brought back just for people's entertainment. Well, that's a life he has now.
He'd probably be more upset he couldn't put him under his control to use. Klaus would tell him to come at him.
He will. We'll keep this fight kind of simple. We'll just do double hit. I don't really want to do the whole initiative thing, but all right, why not? Roll initiative.
19.
Alright, so you go first.
And it's unarmed.
Yep, unarmed only. No magic.
.22 to hit.
That hits.
6 bludgeoning.
Alright. Alright, Natural 20. Or 8 points.
Alright.
He's gonna make this a stunning strike, so con save.
Alright. Natural 1.
So you are stunned. He like punches you like right at your sternum, and you feel your nerves kind of pinch, like you're unable to move. And then he'll. It's his turn again. 20 to hit.
Yep.
So another 6 points.
6 or 8.
6 for that one.
Alright.
Your turn. You're still stunned at the end of a turn. Now you're unstunned. And now it's his turn again.
Alright.
Are we going to miss with a 13?
Yes.
Alright. Your turn.
.27.
That hits.
6.
Alright, his turn. 29 to hit.
Yep.
Another 8 points. He'll use his bonus action for free of blows to punch you 2 more times.
Alright.
Is a 21 to hit.
Yep.
And a 22 to hit.
Yep.
That's 15 points. And 13.
Alright.
Alright, your turn.
Well. 18.
That hits.
Too much.
6 points.
6. Yeah.
Alright, his turn. 24 to hit.
Yep.
And the second one probably misses with a 15.
Yes.
12 points. That one.
Yep. That hits and I'm down.
He'll
I'm at 0 hit points.
he'll kind of stand over you and kind of give you little slaps on the cheek to kind of wake you back up. We'll say you're back at 1 HP now.
Alright.
That kind of hand said, "Good fight anyway. You tried."
He'd stand up and dust the dirt and mud off of him and give a nod and leave. Probably see Silas as he's walking out the door.
Alright. Are you gonna talk to him at all or just ignore him?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
I'll kind of motion with his head to like go in a dark corner somewhere away from prying eyes.
You can follow.
And you disappeared. I think you're on the second
Okay.
floor.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm next to him now.
He says, "Look. If he really is going to help you achieve your goals, then why not just help the guy? Through this oath or bind you have. Doesn't the end justify the means?"
Because I'm not trying to please all the gods. Just one.
Look, he's just shattering the gate. That just opens the floodgates for all of them. Gives you access, doesn't it?
It does, but it causes a lot more headache and unforeseeable problems or road bumps that could come up.
Like what?
Another shattered war, gods taking sides, fighting.
Yeah, that's true. All I'm saying is, if you're going to play games with interest, be careful. There are other forces at play it here that, from what I understand, he has many help that will help him get what he wants to achieve, no matter the cost. Even if it means killing us all. Just tread carefully, my friend. He's gonna turn and leave.
Thank you for the warning, my friend.
And he'll just teleport out.
What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just fast forward the rest of its downtime. Fucking goal.
Yeah.
after finishing, and then Vilra's just gonna say, I think that's for our conversation was interesting, but as I said, it's for you to think about, Fela. What do you want to do next? I know what I want to do. But what do you want to do? We can work out if our goals align.
Anything Phalar wants to do, or?
I'd be interested in making a couple rolls for alchemy stuff.
Sure. What are you trying
First,
to? What do you want to make?
well, the first one's just gonna be straightforward. I want to see if I can make one of the things of the ointment. Now that I've got some of the stuff to work with. But the second one's probably gonna be something that might require the table if it doesn't go well.
Okay. Make an intelligence roll plus your.
I do have proficiency with alchemy now.
Yeah. So, intelligence, then add your proficiency.
That's gonna. Oh my god! I am so glad that I realized what sheet I was on. I just almost made an intelligence roll using the portable holes character sheet. That would have been a -3. No, I have a +3. Thank you.
Yeah, because
That would be this +4 then.
Roll in D&D Beyond. No.
No, I was just saying like it'll add 4 to this because it's proficiency.
Yep.
Because I got this is the other reason that I went for Blood Hunter, by the way. Proficiency in alchemist tools. It comes with being Blood Hunter.
Yep.
Dink. Just the healing thing is what that roll was for, which is I'm assuming a simpler thing to understand considering I've got it written down somewhere.
Yeah, I'll say with a 16,
I'm reading about it.
You're able to make it pretty successfully.
Yeah, so I just gotta add it to my inventory and then do the roll for. Let's see here. Add that to. We'll put it in my component pouch because I've been using that for my alchemy stuff until it moves to the hole. I've been using the component pouch to store things for alchemy until I put them in the hole, like so that way, because like above table, I know I haven't mentioned it, but the way I've been doing it is like when I harvest stuff, I've been putting it into the component pouch, because like then it's on Phalar's person until he gets to a safe place he can store it in the hole in, because there's always the risk I could lose an item until I store it.
Yeah, true.
So I kind of, I've been keeping it in there. So let's see here. It's 1d4 plus 1 for how many doses it has. I have to roll 5.
Oh, nice.
So I'll put the note of 5 on it.
After the fight, Kostas make his way back to the tavern and go upstairs to his room.
Alright.
So the other thing that I wanted to do that might require a roll from the table, depending on how this goes. I've got here, I've got the silver moss, which is used in like restorative stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I've also got wormroot. I've got a couple of them, which is used in, it says strength potions and stamina restoratives. And Phalar is like, well, this one helps with strength and this one heals you, so what if I mix the two?
Yep, alright.
So I'll do a roll here, and then I'll let you decide whether the roll's gonna be high enough. Pretty much, I'm taking the silver moss and mixing it with something you'd use in like stamina restoratives or whatever.
Yeah, I have a
Same thing.
set to where you two mixing 2 unknown ingredients, the DC is much higher.
Yeah, because like I know what they both do separately, but I don't know how they interact with each other. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just, Phalar's got to experiment a little bit, and besides, like, he does have a book that he's been writing his stuff down in. Like, he wrote down the psycho laughing poison that he made.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll it.
And then add 4 from proficiency. That is 15.
Definitely not enough. We're gonna roll on the table.
And then you can just feel free to like DM me or just say what it does or whatever. I'm just going to put it in as because it was silver moss and wormroot, and like since wormroot is a strength and stamina thing, I like to imagine it probably comes out yellow when you crush it. So like it's probably like just a pale yellow liquid. So I'll probably just remove a vial and add a pale yellow mixture to my inventory. That's what I did with the other one I made. Since it was blue, I just put blue liquid in Phalar's inventory.
Alright, let's see what you get.
Of course, I'll have to like inspect it if I want to figure it out in character, but
I'll roll this because that was a real got caught in the roof.
oh god, yeah, I hate when that happens because like you don't even that is one thing I think that they need to fix with Tailspire. If you can't see an item, I don't think your dice should be able to get stuck in it.
44.
One of those.
Oh, this will be interesting. You're able to pass through walls that are 1 foot thick, like a ghost.
Once you drink it, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Of course, Phalar's not gonna drink it on the spot because he's like, well, I just mixed these and I don't know what it is, so I'm not gonna just chug it.
We'll say it's like it weirdly turns like this. It turns into like this clear liquid.
So like it's probably like yellow and silver, and then as I stir it together, it just turns transparent.
Yeah. Wait, so
And he's just like
I would say to the point where the
Looks
vial
really good.
the vial just looks empty when it turns transparent.
like you can shake it around and you can hear the liquid in it, but like there's no bubbles, nothing. It's just.
There's nothing. Yeah.
That'd be kind of funny. Walk up to somebody. I bet you 1 copper that there's liquid in this vial. Okay, shake.
Klaus would like to know why his door is locked to his bedroom.
Maybe Klaus needs to find another bedroom.
He's about to cast fireball on this door.
Moss and root.
Did you go up to the ceiling? Yep.
No, I went to the next floor up. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a long rest after that fight.
Yep. I mean, you did say you wanted to fight their champion.
Yeah. And then in the morning, he'd probably just go to the archives and hang out there, studying about Gorvash. If they have anything.
Alright. Anything else? We'll just fast forward to the next morning.
Do you think, since I don't do it often, I could do like 1 more roll for alchemy things? Because
Yeah.
I'm not doing this very often right now. So I figure I might as well just, 3 off over the course of the stuff.
Yeah.
For this one, I'm going to expend 1 unit of fire bloom petals, which are for fire resistance or explosive mixtures, and 1 of my laughing caps, which is the spores that cause you to laugh. I will keep track, by the way, of what I'm using to make what mixture.
Alright, so go ahead and roll it.
Because he's like, well, if this makes explosive stuff and this makes people laugh, what if I... So Phalar pretty much, his thought process right now, because he doesn't entirely know what he's doing, is just, he's kind of, chucking shit together, hoping it doesn't explode in his face, and then writing down what it does if it doesn't explode inside of the book.
Yeah.
He's straight up just mad sciencing it. Of course, add 4 for proficiency. That's another 15. How did I do that? So this is going to be another table roll.
Yep.
Of course, that being said, like, things that I've previously done that didn't hit the DC, they probably do something different if I do hit the DC if I make it a second time. Because, that time I'd be making it right.
You see this... The liquid kind of becomes like a pale... Almost... Like a very, very like pale green. Your skin turns pale and your blood stops pumping. You become undead for 1d4 hours.
Interesting, so that's what that one does. Of course, like I said, these aren't effects I'll probably be able to replicate because they're from me making the potion wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if I do that again and I make it properly, I'll probably make a throwable that causes a laughing gas, but...
Flaming laughing gas, basically.
Because it was the explosive flower and the laughing spores.
Yeah.
Be like Alchemist's fire, but instead of fire, it makes you laugh. Full on fucking Joker style.
Yep.
So I gotta add this one. You might have to, send me the things in DMs, like just copy paste them so that I have it. Where is... So that one was like a pale green.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Alright, I sent you...
Good.
First one. Or the second one.
Yeah.
First one is... Alright, I'll find the other effect later, but we'll fast forward to next morning.
The other one was walking through walls. I think it was 44.
Yeah, for 1d4 hours.
I would just head to the archives then.
Okay. The archivist.
I want to do.
You see the archivist is there, kind of working away.
I would wave at her as I walk in.
Help you find something?
Yes, I am doing research on Gorvash, the Ashen Hammer from the First Age, and I'm also looking for stuff about Umbriel, Cold Hunger.
Like, sure. In a moment, she like brings out like stacks and stacks. Probably a stack of books, probably about the size of Klaus. Everything we have on the page.
Thank you. I'm gonna look through these. If he would spend his time looking through those books.
So roll a what information exactly you're trying to find?
With Umbriel, I just want to find out some general knowledge on him so I can start erasing him from books and his cult from history. And then on Gorvash, I want to learn about Gorvash and what dark path he went down and who he was.
On Gorvash, you find out that during the first stage, he was probably the most prolific blacksmith of the times. He was well beloved by the king, by the various city by the king that he served under, and was pretty much well loved. But then there are talks of king as he got older kind of went mad and paranoid. And it's saying that as he got older and as the king got older and more paranoid, Gorvash kind of got into what will be described as like a mini rivalry. They both were both trying to make moves against each other. And then eventually, as Gorvash dove into the ways of using necromancy to enhance his blacksmithing, eventually Mad King kind of got wind of it, stormed his workshop, a fight ensued, he was killed, and he was then sealed with magic, where he is now, to never leave or have interaction with the outside world. His soul is forever tied to the Soul Forge he now works.
Interesting. After reading all that, he would close the books up, put them in a neatly pile, and walk up to the archivist where she's sitting and ask her, or I'm trying to figure out. Tell her I heard from one of my party members that you agreed to go on a date with me. Join me for dinner.
Yes.
how would you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What did you have in mind?
I have something probably you've never seen before that we can do. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
What's that?
How would you like to talk to somebody from the first age?
That sounds very interesting.
It is.
But how is that possible? Everybody that was alive during the first age is either dead.
Let's just say he is part dead, but he's still around and talking and working. He was very famous in his time.
Oh. That's cool.
Would you like to meet them?
Uh, certainly, but not during the day. I have work to do.
Oh, that's fine. We can go at night.
Maybe meet you in the tavern tonight?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You'll go back to her work.
Head back to the tavern.
If there's anything else y'all want to do, well, fast forward to the evening.
Always do normal Avera things.
Alright. So as the evening progresses, as you allow us to wait, wait, seems like she's a no-show. After probably 3 or 4 hours.
Alright, I'll just keep sitting here.
You continue waiting. It's just how long do you want to wait?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you want to wait?
I'll wait another 4 hours or so.
Well, another 4 hours passes and go.
Uh, well, seeing that, then I'll just I guess go upstairs and meditate.
Alright. Fast forward to... I would say this point it's probably been about a month of y'all having downtime.
All right.
As the next morning seems like it should come, sun doesn't seem to rise. Odd. It's 7, 8 o'clock, y'all get up. It's still dark.
Klaus will notice that and think it's strange, and then he'll head downstairs and wait on everyone else.
Yeah, the rest of you would wake up and notice this too. Early morning, but the sun isn't up.
Vera will do at first a shrug and just go downstairs.
Also, I would say you notice that people are in the street kind of pointing up at the sky.
I'd probably finish my drink and head outside and see what they're pointing at.
As you look up in the sky, you see these faint, most glowing lines in the sky that almost seem to drift on their own.
Interesting.
As you'd see,
You don't see that.
As you'd see, both sky are held aloft in glowing, brightly string, opulent, almost purple color. As the lines, sky almost seem to shift and move. Lines is beyond the horizon and beyond.
You don't see that every day.
I can't say I've seen it before in general, really. You'd hear this Phaler, him stepping out the door behind you.
You will let out a big ass yawn and just says, "Why is it still dark? I thought it was. Maybe I've been in that tavern for too long."
Phaler kind of looks over. He says, I do believe that it is day time-wise, but something seems very much not right about this.
Klaus would make the remark, I guess Ventress was a lot closer than what he let on when I talked to him.
Everybody make a history check.
That reminds me, it's a new day, I have to do this. Alright.
Not any +5.
17.
Give me a second, I've gotta fix my diviner.
Okay.
642. There we go. Said history.
Yes.
4. Goddamn that one.
I'd say, Klaus, what did you get? It's not showing on the thing.
17,
You both
and
know
Zora got a
that
25.
it's an extremely rare event in Eldoria, but when both moons are full, this causes all the ley lines all around Eldoria to flare. And this is the one rare moment where magic within the weave at its strongest. Then most it would make sense that if when if if or when Ventress was going to do this, it would probably be during one of these events. That's most likely what's going to give them the amplification to break the gates. But only the Run Klaus know this.
If Alar is just like,
Oh, glowy stuff in the sky.
the way that I imagine he's looking at it is because he spent a greater majority of some of his life in tunnels and shit because of his backstory.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, he doesn't have experience with surface stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever is going on.
Also mean that mechanic-wise, any spells you cast while this event is happening are automatically max damage.
Oh. So no rolls
Yeah.
for it.
These are pretty rare.
I wonder how long this lasts. We also have to keep in mind anything that we do, the enemy can also do, so every enemy spell is also max damage.
Yep.
Oh god. Klaus.
Yes.
Upcast fireball, max damage.
It means
Yeah,
if y'all go up against Ventress during this, it's gonna be a real tough fight.
I'm about to go check out the Arcane Eye, see if they want to fight.
Yeah, you would see the arc both of them are like are outside on the street on guard.
Laura's gonna look down the road and be there like, it's too early in the morning for this. I'm pretty sure your friend's likely to do something, the thing he wants to do right now. You need to
If I
relax,
was
man. Ooh.
if I was him, I'd do it during this time also.
Vera's gonna face out for a second. She's gonna take out her sword for a second.
You try and listen, you eventually have to pull away, or you feel like it's gonna pierce your mind. It gets louder.
That's irritating. And she's gonna look for a second down the street and be there like, makes sense. And she's gonna say, I'll be back in a second. Oh, that's just what I said. Vera's gonna return from the alley and say, that's not good.
And what might be not good.
She's gonna test something for a second, and she's going to. She's just gonna let some magic dance around her fingers for a little bit. Actually, she's gonna use Alter Self to do it because I can just do it at free will, and she's gonna just try and alter herself to make herself shorter, and see what happens.
You become shorter, but he's like that illusion part of it looks and feels very real. Like it almost feels like it's almost physically changing you rather than it just being temporary.
Seems convenient, but also concerning. What Bells is interesting.
Peter kind of stops for a moment, like looking around and looks to you, and he's just like, does that mean, by technicality, do you think if someone created an illusion, it would, you know,
Drugs, and she's gonna make herself back to her normal height, go taller.
Alright.
Maybe.
I could imagine street magicians have to be quite careful during this time. I would hate for them to create some sort of magic trick where they magically pull a small dragon from their hat or something and it is actually a dragon.
It's you one enforcer is starting to now patrol down your street.
I'd step off to the side a little bit.
Yep.
It's
same.
like doesn't acknowledge you, just patrolling, doing what's going on.
Making sure nobody's using the magic to do dumb shit.
Basically.
Like what I just mentioned.
I'm gonna say,
Hey kids, watch this. I can pull a small dragon from my hat. Whips out an illusory dragon and it turns into a real dragon.
I wonder what happens if I do this. I'm gonna whistle loud, so I'm gonna try and cool my steed.
As you call your shadowy steed, and you sit on top of it, it's now more like, instead of being like that whispering shadow, it's now feels more like you're just riding like a black horse, a solid beast.
You gonna do it? Jump off and give Zalatak a little tap tap to let him just run off somewhere. This could be very dangerous at the moment. But this is the time when it looks like we have to make a decision. Do we want to stay here? Do we want to leave? Or do we want to try and take on Zentris?
Kind of taps it a little bit. He's like, if our magic is able to be this potent during an event like this, and seeing what he's done at such things such as that party in the Feywild, I do not know if taking him on when he would be at his strongest would be the best. We are also stronger, of course, but it is a dilemma.
You'll also see the more and more enforcers are coming out from inside the arcane eye, and they're now just starting to spread out throughout the city.
Just as the day goes on,
Yeah.
they're just gradually coming out.
They're like, oh, 1 second. Of course, I need to get something from upstairs.
You can definitely tell they are on alert and making sure nobody does any dumb shit while they're in the city. I'm kind of vanguard over here. Over here. Here.
Yo, Late, I've got a question.
Uh-huh.
For stuff that stores spells, when you store a cantrip, does it store the baseline or the damaged version that the person that stored it has? Because you know how when characters level up, they get more damage on cantrips?
I think it would be at the time it was put into it. So at the time,
say once you get your damage upgrade from your fist level thing.
So if it was stored, say, to do 2d10, then when your guardian uses it, it would just do 2d10. It does no matter what.
Yeah. I was curious because I know, I wasn't sure if say if I put Mind Sliver on it, if it would use the baseline damage or the leveled version that I get from being higher level. I'm assuming it's probably like, the up version that if somebody's a higher level, they get like the more damage version of it. That's probably what they store.
Yep.
Right, that was just the thing that passed into my head since we were talking about magic.
But I think we'll end the session here. You guys
Yeah.
decide what to do next during this
That's
craziness.
just that last. Yeah. We still have one quest left to do
Yeah.
in this town.
Yep, you got one more quest.